on so far. My name's Michelle, and Mandy and I are going live today. This is my very first live. See if I can get Mandy on here. There she is.
Hi.
Hi, Mandy.
I'm Michelle. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
You look so beautiful today.
Thank you. We can see the beautiful lake in your background.
Yeah, can you see it in my upper half? So, we are here today to talk medical medium. And how's everyone doing today? I see Achoda. Hi, Achoda. And
Hi, Achoda.
Hi, Nicholas.
Hi, Nicholas. Okay.
Masha Paintings. Hi, Masha.
Thanks for being here, you guys.
So, this is my first live ever on any platform. So, I'm winging this.
You do great. You'll do great. Just, introduce yourself a little bit, I guess.
Yeah. My name is Michelle. I'm a retired commercial photographer, graphic designer, specializing in Photoshop. I reproduced fine art for 15 years for over 1,000 artists from all over the world, and retired in 2014 with my husband, Shannon, to the mountains of western North Carolina and Bryson City, where we designed and built 2 vacation rentals that overlook this view. You can see it behind me. That's the Great Smoky Mountains National Park behind me and Fontana Lake. And, everybody's on lockdown right now, so we don't have any guests. We're looking forward to having our guests back. We're kind of homesteading out here. I'm growing my own food. We raise honeybees, and we're building our dream home. Currently, we live in a 400 square foot tiny house. And that's about it.
Oh.
So, Mandy, why don't you introduce yourself and kind of talk about what you do?
Yeah. Thanks for being here, everyone. It's really awesome to see you all here. And so I am Mandy Palmer. I'm a food and lifestyle success coach. I'm a certified health coach, certified Qigong instructor, and certified yoga teacher. But I mainly practice coaching, and I help those with chronic health challenges rediscover energy, peace, and vitality. And medical medium information, I've been dealing with it since February 2017, so a little over 3 years now. And it's made a huge, huge impact on my health, which is why I'm here today talking with Michelle. And so, it's the foundation. It really is the foundation of what I use in my coaching practice. It just naturally happened that way. It was working well for me when I started, and it was just like a natural implementation to it with my clients. So, so we will talk about, if you're not all familiar with Anthony William, which you probably are somewhat, Michelle and I are going to talk to you about him today. Anthony, if you're not familiar, he's a #1 New York Times bestseller. He's the author of the Medical Medium series of books. And the first one is the Secrets Behind Chronic and Mystery Illness. You got the books. And How to Finally Heal. And then you got Life-Changing Foods, Thyroid Healing, Liver Rescue, Cell so intently. And especially with the vertigo, because the chronic vertigo was part of the worst. So, with what his information does for people, it just strikes so true in some of us because of what we've experienced, and we haven't experienced this truth before. So, from the age of 4, Anthony heard this voice in his right ear who called himself the Spirit of Compassion. And the Spirit of Compassion is the closest thing next to God. And so this is from a divine source. It comes in through his right ear. He hears it like he hears everyone else's voices. And it gives him this information from the divine that heals us, because this is during a time when so many of us, more than ever in the world, are suffering with chronic health conditions and symptoms. And so this spirit, and Empathy, they are helping us deal with this information. And if there's anybody, watching this who is skeptical of this, I wouldn't have been using this long as I have if it didn't help, if it didn't help the things that I was going through. So, I'm not going to tell my story today. Today, Michelle is going to tell her healing story. He started writing the books in 2015 because he was so overrun with clients. He had started seeing clients, in his teens. He's talked about, when he was working at the grocery store, as a soft boy, and he would tell people, go drink some celery juice, and if they didn't have a juicer, to chew the celery, spit out the fiber, and swallow the juice. So he was doing this a long time. He had a wait list, I heard, I don't know if this is true, of 1 million people.
Millions, plural.
Millions, okay. Even worse. So Spirit said, you've got to start writing this book, and so we did, and so many of us have been touched by the healing information in these books. So, do you want to add anything to my description of Anthony? Michelle?
I think you got it. I think you got it. You covered it. Anthony, for me, I've been following Medical Medium, and Medical Medium is, the combination of Anthony William and Spirit of Compassion, to make that clear. And I was graced to find him in 2017. I think you covered it. The most important thing is we want to talk about Anthony William and Medical Medium today because we need to hear about this healing information now more than ever. Everything that he teaches is antiviral and how to strengthen your immune system. So the wind's kicked up here, of course.
It's okay. We can still hear you.
Okay, good. So I guess I want to tell my story today, and some of it's not pretty, and that's okay, because it all shapes the person that I am today, and I'm grateful. I wouldn't change anything. And Mandy's going to tell her story next week. So
we have a plan to do this every Thursday at this time, and then every time we'll have a different topic. And so after Michelle tells her story today, if you guys have any questions, that towards the end of this is when we will be answering those questions. So I'll be watching the feed, so if you have any questions, go ahead and type them in. If there's a lot, we probably won't get to all of them, but I'm ready. I'm going to write them down. And of course, you can ask them when we're in the States. So, all right, Michelle, the floor is yours, my dear.
Okay. So my healing journey started in my mother's womb. Both of my parents were alcoholics and chain smokers. And, back then, a lot of people just didn't think twice about drinking and smoking while they were pregnant. And that was my case. I was born into that life where there was a lot of anger and a lot of fighting and cursing. From the time I was a toddler, I had severe asthma, and every couple of weeks I was raced to the hospital in the middle of the night because I couldn't breathe and thrown into an oxygen tent. That went on until about age 12. Our house was constantly filled with thick cigarette smoke. And I remember at age 5 thinking to myself that, life was pretty serious. And I kind of didn't feel comfortable playing with other kids. I didn't know how to kind of relax because of my own life. There was a lot of, that night especially, there was a lot of yelling and cursing and a lot of projection of guilt. And I knew that I couldn't rationalize with my parents while they were intoxicated. So the next day I would try to approach them and talk about what happened the night before, and they either looked at me like I was crazy, or they just looked at me like, don't even bring it up. We don't talk about this. So I felt misunderstood. I felt unheard, and so I stopped talking. I didn't speak from age 5 until age 12 because I just couldn't get anywhere. And I was desperate to create the most peaceful existence that I could. So from the time I was born, my mom said I had a hug for everybody, and I was just love. And I think that I've always remembered who I am and where I came from. So I smiled a lot, and I had compassion for everybody, but I didn't speak unless I absolutely had to. From age 7 to 11, I was on the swim team, so I was just saturated with chlorine. And I got chronic swimmer's ear infections and ended up with tubes in my ears. When I was 12, I was diagnosed with tonsillitis and had my tonsils removed like most of us. And when I was 11, I was gang raped by 4 men that were strangers to me. When I was 12 or 13, however old I was when I was a freshman in high school, a senior locked me in his car and raped me again. I didn't have a safe place to go with this. And so I internalized it. I suppressed it. And that was a time when I knew God existed, really. Because I found forgiveness immediately. Like, strangely, I forgave everything. Because at 11 and 12 years old, I somehow knew that I couldn't survive the trauma with resentment on top of it. So I survived my days. And I got away from my household when I was 17, just 2 days after I graduated from high school. Mandy, you're going to get me started. I escaped that home life when I was 17, and I just ventured out. And I knew I was going to make it no matter what. But I survived my days, and there was just, adrenaline and post-traumatic stress. And from the time I can remember, I've had just digestive issues. And that I now know brought on by viral, but also from just internalizing all of there's the bald eagle right behind me. Oh my God. I don't think we can see it. Oh my God. guys so much. Thank you.
Katerina, Camille, love for you and hearts. Masha painting, I love you. Boundless, sorry, it's hard to scroll through these. Boundless Radiant Health, I love you so much.
Yeah, Jules.
Katerina, Camille, you are thriving.
Hi, Jules. I love you, girl. I love all of you so much. So yeah, I've always had kind of back pain. I've had physical pain that got worse as I got older. I think I intentionally tried to forget a lot of my childhood, so my long-term memory has never been great. In my 20s, I was diagnosed with stomach ulcers. In my 20s and 30s, I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression. In my 30s, I was diagnosed with endometriosis. And, so the first third of my life was just saturated with pharmaceuticals, antibiotics, inhalers, steroids, antidepressants. I started having panic attacks in my 30s. And in my 40s, things just started to get worse, Short-term memory loss, restless leg, blurry vision, just severe bloating, and I was diagnosed with food allergies. I was allergic to most everything you can imagine, so I was eating pretty clean, except for fish and a little bit of feta cheese. In my 40s, I was also diagnosed with diverticulitis, and I was never diagnosed with these things, but I feel like they were probably fibromyalgia, menopause. The hot flashes started severe around age 48, and that was just 3 years ago. There were times when I would go to stand up from the couch and I could barely walk. I would have to hold on to the counter. I felt like I was 90 years old. I'd look in the mirror and I could see my face just aging rapidly. And my widow's peak was pure white. I don't color my hair. This is my natural color, and I don't have any more silver coming in. Or if it's coming in, it's coming in very slow. But this disappeared. It was white 3 years ago. So, no energy. It was a scary time 3 years ago, and I just started praying really hard for God's help, because I knew that if I had gone to the doctor, I probably would have been diagnosed with multiple autoimmune disorders of some kind. And so one day I was scrolling through, on Facebook, you have your likes section of your Facebook page. I was scrolling through there to try to find a local photographer that I could refer to a job that I was asked to do, and I just didn't feel up to it. I didn't feel mentally or physically able to do it. So I was just scrolling, looking for a local photographer, and there's Medical Medium, who I had never heard of before. And I'm like, when did I like his page? I don't even know who this is. And so I went and I looked, and I resonated. And I ordered his first 3 books, Medical Medium, Life-Changing Foods, and Thyroid Healing, and I read them all in 2 months. And I immediately started the protocols. I got results in a week. The first week I lost 6 inches off my waist. Mm-hmm. And, my anxiety level dropped by 70%. So I just continued. I stayed strictly on the protocols ever since. And every month something got better, something disappeared. And I'm just so grateful to Anthony and Spirit, because so today I have zero depression. I mean, it just doesn't exist. And it's not just because I'm grateful. I mean, I have a wonderful life. But there's nothing inside of me that feels sad about anything. I have compassion, I have deep empathy for others, and now for myself, that I didn't have before. And it's just a totally different way of being. I feel today better than I did in my 30s. I have no mystery pain in my body. I get slight lower back pain if I overdo it physically, working in the garden or working on building our home, because we're physically doing this ourselves. Shannon and I are doing this, building our home ourselves. I forgot to mention, I had mystery tingles and numbness in my extremities that happened really bad around 48. I would wake up in the middle of the night and my hands and my feet would be numb. And I wasn't like crossing over anywhere, cutting off circulation. That's gone. No restless leg, no blurry vision. I do have eye floaters that have improved. They're not gone completely. I have endless amounts of energy. I run up and down a mountain every single day, and it actually makes me feel better. Like I don't have to recover from that. Mm-hmm. My memory. 3 years ago, I would forget why I walked into the next room. I would forget what I was just talking about in mid-sentence. And my memory is so sharp now. I just feel it's just night and day. If I did have dreams when I was a child, they were horrific nightmares. I don't remember having dreams most of my first half of my life. And now I remember my dreams every single morning in vivid detail. And they're wild. Mm-hmm. My intuition is super strong. I have zero digestive issues. Like that was something that plagued me my whole life, where, to the point where this is normal. You tolerate that. And that is such a freedom. Such a freedom. I sleep like a baby. I think that's pretty much it. I want to make sure I don't forget anything.
Yeah, I know I have to make a list too.
There were a couple times. Yeah. There were a couple times in my life where I had contemplated suicide. And Shannon asked me this morning, "Are you sure you want to share some of this stuff?" And I said, absolutely. For one reason, I suppressed it for 12 years. I didn't talk about the rapes for 12 years. And I woke up at age 23, throwing dishes in a rage for no reason. And it was because there was no room left to stuff that stuff down. And, I get private messages sometimes from girls who have been raped, and they don't have any place to go with that. And I get private messages sometimes from people who are contemplating suicide right now, and they don't have any place to go with that. So yeah, I want to talk about it. Because people need to know that they're not alone. And there is hope for healing. The books saved my life. And Medical Medium saved my life. Ian Spirit saved my freedom. I live with joy in my heart every single day. And I will talk about him and these books. Oh my goodness. And the information that he provides every single day for the rest of my life. There you go. That's my story.
her story.
Oh, hi, Rachel.
And Nicholas Russell says, Michelle got it going on. And S.I. Gokiel says, you are amazing.
That's Shannon. He just created an account today so he can watch.
Well, he would know more than I would. And Ichota says, absolutely, there is hope.
Yes.
There definitely is. There definitely is. You know, Michelle, thanks so much for sharing all of that, because as you know, when you share these things, you know, every time we share a piece of ourselves, it empowers someone else to do whatever they need to do to heal themselves, whether it be physical, spiritual, mental, emotional. Helene says rock.
Hi.
Masha Painting says superstar.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, if I was dealing with anxiety and panic attacks today, there's no way I'd be doing this. There's no way I could do this. There was a time where I'd have red splotches all over my chest and up my neck from adrenaline, you know, because I'd wear my emotions on my body. And it's gone. I don't have any of that. Look, I just told the most horrific experiences of my life, and yeah, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very grateful.
Lots of healing. Lots of healing. Asia in USA said, thank you for sharing.
Hey, girl.
So we didn't tell you guys how Michelle and I know each other. We actually met through, I started a local medical media meetup here in Asheville, North Carolina. And Michelle, I guess, recently discovered it through some people that had come. Is that right?
Thank goodness. Yeah, Rachel Clearfield. She told me about you. I'm so grateful.
And Sierra, who I think is still on here, she comes as well. And so yeah, we've been meeting online the past couple of times since the physical distancing started, but you know, it's not stopping us socially and connecting with one another, and it's been helping all of us. So yeah. I just wanted to share that tidbit. We forgot to mention that in the morning, or in the beginning of the morning.
I am so grateful to have met you. This community is incredible. It is so supportive. You know, Anthony's not in this for himself. He spent his whole life sacrificing his time to consult with people individually, you know, up until 2014, and then, you know, writing these books to reach millions of people so that he could help heal humanity. And his books cost between $10 and $20. And he says if you can't afford a book, you can go to the library, because he and his friends donate books to libraries all over the world.
I think a lot of the medical medium community does as well.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And he has free podcasts on SoundCloud. You can just search medical medium and search the subject matter and learn so much in an hour from him speaking about it. And his blog, medicalmedium.com, you can go to his website and learn so much. But
thanks for watching the paintings. We'll see you later.
If you're new to medical medium, if you're not new and you've been kind of following his information online, Mandy and I highly recommend you start with this first book, Medical Medium: Secrets Behind Chronic and Mystery Illness and How to Finally Heal. You'll think he wrote this about you. My whole world changed when I read this, and I felt understood for the first time. And I felt hope for the first time. So, yeah.
So next week, next Thursday at 12 p.m., we'll be going on live again, and I'll be telling my story. and we'll probably have another topic which hasn't been discussed yet. And so do you guys have any questions right now? There was one question by Sonia Garcia that asked a little while ago, what did you use for your hair? She wanted to know what you used for your hair, Michelle.
Oh, well, for one thing, I stopped washing it. I've never washed my hair every day, but I stopped washing it for like maybe 2 weeks at a time to let the natural oils, coat my hair. I stopped using any kind of toxic shampoo or conditioner treatments. I mean, no hairspray, no styling products of any kind. I don't take an iron to it. Maybe once in a great while I'll take an iron to my hair, but I use coconut oil with some essential oil after I wash it and condition it, and I just kind of left it alone. And
So you're still using shampoo and conditioner, is that right?
Yes, I use shampoo and conditioner. I can't tell you the name of it right offhand, but if you go to Healing with Amber, at Healing with Amber, I believe it is, she has a preferred product page with that shampoo and conditioner. It's completely unscented, and the very first ingredient is aloe.
Yeah, I thought, because I don't use shampoo or conditioner anymore. I'm NoFu, which is short for no shampoo. And I just cleanse it with apple cider vinegar, and I do scritching and preening to get the natural oils down into the hair. And I have really naturally dry hair. And I don't need to use, I've been doing this years, way longer than medical medium. And I use coconut oil in my hair because it really loves coconut oil because it's really dry naturally. And yeah, I can't even brush it. Like when you do NoFu, you're supposed to use like a boar bristle brush and brush the oils down. And my hair's so curly, I can't do that. So I have to do the scritching and preening and do it with my hands to get the oils down.
Wow.
So yeah, like going natural all the way, where you do something like that, or you do just like a natural, very natural shampoo and conditioner with great ingredients. I think I put some on my website. I forget because people often ask. So I'll double check that and I'll add some on there if there aren't any on there already. It's mandywithani@homer.com, and I have some lifestyle products on there. So you guys can check there for something. And I wouldn't put anything on there that like when you go to the grocery store, the natural food store, and there's natural shampoo and conditioner, that stuff still can have not great ingredients.
Oh, yeah.
So you really have to search and just make sure you can read all the labels, like you can read everything, all the ingredients. It shouldn't be a whole bunch of chemicals that you can't pronounce. It should be a lot of botanicals. So yeah, anyway.
Yeah. And my hair is down to my lower back right now. And I've been cutting my hair in layers, like every couple of months. But my hair, when it's down and natural, is just as curly as yours.
Oh, is it really?
Yes. So I have to use some of that coconut oil just to kind of get my fingers through it. I rarely brush my hair, but I just kind of put my fingers through it, and then I kind of braid it, and that keeps it so silky. But yeah, I can go about 2 weeks without washing my hair. I think Helene asked, how do your bees' honey help you heal? Well, honey is like the most powerful everything, antiviral, antimicrobial, antibacterial, and of course I eat it every day. And I also mix it with aloe, pure aloe, for wounds, a cut, anything like that on the surface of the skin. So yeah, I eat a lot of honey.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
That's true. Anthony writes about that. There are times when I just sit in front of our bee boxes and watch them and listen. Asia and USA, I don't have honey to sell. We have 8 colonies right now, and they have multiplied. So Shannon is actually splitting up the colonies today and adding new boxes. But they're not producing, and we eat so much of it, honestly, we don't have it to share. Not yet, but we will. In the future, we will. I'm going to create a website and sell that honey and ship it for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you, Nicholas.
Yeah, that was really powerful, Michelle. And it's a really powerful testimony to how the medical medium information helps people heal. And I'm sure we'll do a live topic one day where we talk about all the ups and downs of healing, which I'm sure both of us have a lot to say about, and how healing isn't just about the human suffering. There's the spiritual piece, and the emotional piece is huge. So that'll probably be another topic we talk about.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Asia, in USA. Thank you, hon.
So sweet. It's okay with everybody. I'd like to say a little prayer as we kind of sign off of here. And I said a little prayer before I started.
So did I. Which I do before every session as well. Oh, before you start that, I just want to let everyone know if you need a little help with your healing journey and implementing medical medium information, please reach out to me. You can send me a private message here. I don't know if you can see my handle. My handle is at Nancy_Palmer_THC. So feel free to reach out to me there, and everything's on my website as well. So phone number, email at mandywithani@palmer.com. Okay.
Yeah. So I just wanted to mention, right after I said a prayer before we started, my very first hummingbird of the year that I've seen came right up to my face.
Wow!
So, and right now I'm watching 2 bald eagles fly behind me. So this is just so cool.
Wow!
Okay, I want to say a little prayer now.
Yeah, you live in a really magical place. I can't wait to get out there and see it.
Oh, I can't wait either.
In person.
I know. Okay. Dear God, our Father in heaven, we stand before you in endless gratitude for your unconditional love, for your continuous support, your guidance, and protection. Thank you for your abundant blessings and all the miracles that you shower on us daily. We know, like Anthony William, you will always have our backs. And under your grace, we will forever be free. In your name we pray. Amen. We appreciate you guys being here with us today. Thank you so much. And I really look forward to next week.
Yes, me too.
And it'll be Thursday at noon, and hopefully both Facebook and Instagram if we can work it out.
Yes. as long as we can figure out the technology, we'll be doing Instagram and Facebook at the same time. And then as long as we can download them, because we're new to doing all this extra stuff on Instagram, as long as we can download them, we'll be uploading them to our YouTube channel, which is Mandy and Michelle Talk Medical Medium.
That's right. Brand new YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to share this on Facebook as well if I can get it downloaded on my phone. So, yeah. Thank you, guys. I love you, Mandy.
Thanks for being here. Love you, Michelle. Love you all.
I love you all so much.